Welcome back to Investing and Trading Live, sponsored by Online Trading Academy. My name is Josh Lilquist. If you're following us on YouTube, make sure to check out the show here live. We're showing some charts as we go here, and we're talking about these different strategies with the markets. If you did miss tickets to that free investing class that you have a text line for, I'm going to do that again here right now in a second here. But we talk a lot about shorting in these classes, how the market works, but how to have profitable strategies as the market drops. So text the word investing to the number 210-210. That's text investing to the number 210-210 for 2 tickets for this free class, local at our academies, a physical place to go to learn how to trade and invest. An online trading academy, actually 25 years teaching people just like you how to do that, how to get started, how to have more consistency in the financial markets. So in that last segment, we kind of got into a little bit with the down market, actually current market conditions, and strategies to profit as the market drops. And we're seeing a lot of people come to these investing classes lately that have 401ks and IRAs, and they're like, hey, what is going on? My 401k is almost turned into a 201k, just like it did back in 2000, back in 2008. And they always said, oh, that'll never happen to me. Yep. And that's some of the comments that I've been hearing is, oh, I didn't think it would happen to me, but now I need to do something. And I said, great, you're in the right place. And you actually took action, which is sometimes the hardest thing to do, is to take that first step and learn about the financial markets. And that's what we do at Online Trading Academy, is empower people to take control of their financial future, especially in those retirement accounts. So, Al, with a lot of people coming in and about asking about questions about 401ks and IRAs, let's talk about some of those strategies that you can do with those. So 401ks, they're getting pretty good where you can direct them a little bit better now through your employer. IRAs, heck, that's your money. Why let a stranger manage that? Why let a stranger dictate your future? Why let a stranger say what you should do with your money with their best interest? And understand why I said the word stranger 3 times, because that's what it is. You work 20, 30, 40 years, 50 years, save up all this money, hopefully, and then you give it to a stranger and say, hey, try to keep it for me. Try to earn more. But their job is to gain as much assets, which is money, under management. Right. And they sell you funds, which costs a lot of money in fees. Al, let's break that down. And what are some different opportunities people have with those accounts?
Right. Well, and the reason that people use these strangers, Josh, is because they have been conditioned to believe that they can't do it themselves. You need this stranger who is a pro, who is supposedly an expert in that field.
A professional salesman, you mean?
Well, that's one way of putting it. And that you did kind of hit it on the head. Assets under management is the key there. That's what keeps these guys in business. That's what keeps these companies in business. But typically, even if you have let's call it a guy or a gal, your advisor, that retirement account that you have is not managed by them. It's passed off to a stranger to you, but somebody who maybe they will kind of push as being an expert in their field. Well, the problem is that what you are typically put into has mediocre returns, but also has high fees associated with it, high cost to you. And if you want to make sure you don't live the retirement lifestyle that you want, use something that you pay fees for. The fees are going to just eat away at what you could have over the course of your working years. And remember, the reason that you can have put an account together and have it be worth more in the future is because of the power of compounding, that magic of compounding. So every dollar that's being taken away in a fee is no longer there compounding. A dollar at one point in time, if you do it early enough, may end up being worth $10,000 down the road. But if it's no longer there, it's no longer producing that kind of a benefit for you. So one of the things that we want to help guide you on is how to identify, in your 401k or 403b, are there assets in there or choices that have higher fees than others? Are there some choices that maybe are almost zero in their fees? Is there a way of reducing fees? That's key. We can address that, and we do in these classes. But then also, what about a big down market like we have had this year? If you have a retirement account, if it's being managed by somebody, especially if you're in mutual funds, and you haven't looked at your portfolio, results, get ready for a bit of a shock, because most people have lost a fairly significant amount of money in the first half of this year. And it's because of not just the fees being taken out, but also because of the performance of the market. So how do you do that? How can you trade within your 401k, for example, to make sure you're in you're better positioned during certain market conditions? And the answer is yes. And in everything that you have in there, probably everything or almost everything, you can look at on a chart and decide whether it's moving into an area where maybe there are sellers for that particular type of asset, or maybe there are buyers, and then make some changes within your portfolio based on those things. As soon as you can, you might want to get your money out of a 401k. If you are retired now, you have a 401k, 403b, you have the right and the ability to roll that into a self-directed IRA without a tax or without a penalty. Now you have eliminated the fees. You also have many more choices. You're not just restricted to the few that are part of your previous 401k or 403b. You can invest in mutual funds if you want to. You can invest in stock. You can invest in the futures market, the foreign exchange market, the options market. We haven't really hit on those, but those are assets that provide leverage that give you the opportunity to have a smaller account with the potential for a much larger return. It's much greater use of your money. It's maximizing the value and the impact and the power of every investment dollar you have. And then you can also have protection, which is almost impossible to have in a 401k, 403b.
Yeah, I just want to kind of reiterate what you said there a little bit ago about, and nothing against the people. I mean, I actually know some advisors, and they're great people, but it's a business there, right? And it used to be, well, I'm okay with giving a percentage to these people if they're making me money, but they're no longer doing that. And people need to retire, need to have enough retirement. So people in their 40s and 50s, they're prolonging that retirement date now, or in 60s, because they don't have enough now. But one interesting thing you said there is you hire a stranger, which that turns into your guy or your gal. That's what everybody says, conditioning again, and they trust them. But they pass your money off to have somebody else manage for you. They're not managing your money. And I was thinking about when you said that. So you're hiring a stranger, passing your hard-earned money off to a stranger that puts you in a category or a group of others in the same investments, but you all have different goals and objectives, different financial needs. So if you're being put into a basket of other investments and groups that the other people have, but they have a different lifestyle, you might be living a less of a lifestyle just because you're in that same basket or that same boat, right? Mm-hmm. But that's the key, or what's so important about being able to do that yourself, being able to take your money, manage it yourself, learn how to do it first. That's why we have these classes that I'm going to give away some tickets to. Learn how to do it, and then have your best interest. And that, Al, I think is probably the key of the financial markets, is having your best interest, because you can't trust anybody these days. You can't trust people that say all these nice things. We're gonna put you in this type of investment, and it's in the long haul, and we're gonna be over several years, and don't worry about the gyrations and the moves in the markets. Makes you feel really good, but the fact of the matter is, if you've looked at your 401k, it is probably down a lot of money right now. And if you're upset about that, do something about it. Do something about it. Take some action. Take control of your financial future. Al, we have a 3-day deep dive in the financial markets. We see a lot of people that come to these classes that have 401ks, they have IRAs, they're seeing drops in the markets now. It's not a secret. I mean, there's drops in the markets. If you have those accounts, you are most likely down a bunch of money. So this 3-day deep dive will dissect why that is, how to have maybe even a better conversation with your broker or advisor, and then how to make smart investing decisions within those accounts moving forward. So you can call right in for 2 tickets for this 3-day deep dive. This is a 3-day deep dive. It's normally $200. There is a tuition for this. And today for our listeners, we're going to do that for $99 to help our listeners that have 401ks and IRAs and how to make smart investing decisions. So if you have your phone ready, call right now, and one of our team members will answer and try to pick a date that works best for you, the 3-day deep dive. Call 888-682-6466 right now. When you call in, mention you want the 3-day deep dive for $99. Call us 888-682-6466. Tell them Josh sent you. 888-682-6466. Coming up next, Al, I want to continue that discussion about those retirement years, but you mentioned futures, Forex, and options. Mm-hmm. How to use those to have the opportunity to continue to build those in up, down markets and sideways markets to have more longevity with your wealth accounts. Call 888-682-6466 for this 3-day deep dive. Mention you want that for $99. This is Josh and Al, Investing and Trading Live. We'll be right back.